every horse's diet should be forage, which can be grazing on pasture or eating hay. And since horses in the wild eat up to 18 hours a day, it's best to replicate this as much as you can by feeding frequently with small meals. So this will help prevent stall vices and boredom if your horse is kept in a stall. And it can also help prevent digestive upset such as colic and ulcers. Your horse should eat at least 1.5 to 2% of his body weight in forage every day. So if you're feeding hay, that would be, for a 1,000-pound horse, 15 to 20 pounds of hay. You're probably more accustomed to feeding by flake, which can vary in terms of how much each flake weighs, so it's best to weigh your hay and know exactly how much you're feeding. You can use a fishing scale to weigh out your hay. So for example, here we have a flake or two, and that weighs 7 pounds, 7 ounces. So that would be half to a third of what your horse needs to eat every day if he weighed 1,000 pounds. You can also weigh it in a hay net, like this. And this looks like a lot more hay, but when we weigh it, it's 8 pounds, 4 ounces. So it's actually very close in weight. So again, that would be half to a third of what your average sized horse would eat per day. If you live in an area where feeding hay cubes is more common, or maybe you have an older horse that eats hay cubes because they're easier to process when you wet them down, you'll use the same procedure to weigh out your feed, hang from a fish scale. And since this is almost 4 pounds, but I know the bucket weighed 1 pound empty, so there's actually 3 pounds of hay cubes in here. If you have a horse that's a hard keeper or in heavy exercise, or maybe he's growing, he may need additional calories beyond forage. So if you're going to feed your horse grain, you don't want to feed more than 5 pounds per meal, or else it can lead to digestive upset such as colic or even laminitis. So we've got here just a plain scale that you can buy for kitchens or just at any department store, and we're going to weigh out this scoop of grain just to make sure that we're not feeding too much. And your feed bag will have feeding instructions on the label that will be based on your horse's weight, how much you can feed. And this scoop weighs 2 pounds, so that would be fine to feed your horse in a meal.